Live. We're live. We're broadcasting now. I combed my hair and everything.
Mine's messy.
Messy? That looks pretty good.
I like messy good on you.
What is I'm gonna some big music. Am I in the frame? Hey everybody. How's it going? What's your name? You. What is it? Martin? I'm Tyler. Nice to meet you. How's it going, Aspen? Good. Drew? Tracy? Doing good? Ethan, what's up, man? Hey, how about them Trojans? Big win Friday.
West Georgia Wolves.
West Georgia got a big win too. Yeah. 34-3. Roll Tide. Boo. Cares about Alabama. Alabama's from Alabama. They have a cupcake schedule this year, and they'll still be in the playoff. Georgia looked good though against this Georgia School for the Deaf. I think they played. That's what they played. The Line of the Deaf School or something like that.
Inception.
Austin P. Hey, there I am.
Inception.
All right.
Except it's kind of played back.
How's school going?
It's not long.
Like 2.5 weeks in. You guys are loving 4th, 5th, and 6th grade? Yeah?
It's not exactly live.
You digging it? Aspen's the reason you don't like school?
Just listen.
What?
Oh, so. Alright. Aspen is the reason that Carson doesn't like school.
It's so bad.
Not your Carson.
Stop. It's played back like a whole minute.
So we have a game today. A little low on attendance today, probably the holiday weekend. That's okay.
It's not really.
Hunter's here. That's all that matters. Hey, you're in first service. What's up?
I'm here.
Awesome.
No, I'm here too.
Sweet.
Our names are the same.
Hunter squared? Jojo, happy birthday, man. When was it? Yesterday? Happy birthday. How old are you? Like 48? Oh, 10. You look good for 48, dude. You're really good. I think that bottle's on blood. Yeah, it's good blood. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Tiffany. Wow, amazing. I can't believe it. 2 weeks in a row. Somebody give her a gold star.
Yeah.
All right. So we have, it's a new month. Can you believe it? It's September already. You kids are like, hurry up, I want school to be over. And the adults are like, I can't believe it's already September. And we finally have a new thing. It's changing. Did anyone know that show, Dirty Jobs? Were you guys even alive when that show came on?
I love that show.
You don't count, Chase.
It's not live.
Anyone heard of Dirty Jobs, the show? Any kids in here? Any small kids? A lot of big kids in here. Yeah, Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe. That's a pretty cool show. Somebody's got to do it. I remember in that show, he's cleaning out a sewer, and it was like super gross. So Jeremy has to clean Coke spills all day. That's what he's got to do. So he gets sticky. It's a sticky situation.
You're clapping right now, but you're not.
So, does anybody know anyone that has a dirty job?
I can't.
Like maybe works at a chicken farm? Like anyone's parents work at Gold Kiss? The chicken place here in town? Cut chicken ups all day?
Stop it.
That's a dirty job. Are you snapping? Can you try to get my attention? Doesn't work like that in here.
What about welding?
Welding? I guess that could be a dirty job. It's a hot job. What's your dirty job?
That's an oily job.
Pilgrims, that's right. Yeah, those are dirty jobs. Elias Love Lady, Shannon's oldest adopted son, he cleaned the machines.
Yeah, I did.
Chick-fil-A can be dirty. You're handling.
Because they're killing chickens
Mustard seed
They
out there.
don't, maybe that's their secret. Maybe Chick-fil-A kills chickens there.
They do it somewhere else.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that.
What's your dirty job, Carson?
Hear me out. Hear me out. Cable installation.
Does he lick
You
you?
have to go into lots of dorms and lots of other places.
Yeah. Hey, what's happening today after church?
Go on!
Oh yeah. I didn't even wear blue. But we got a live update. We got a scoreboard. We should have a scoreboard. Wait. Hold on the scoreboard. Did we get any points awarded on Wednesday?
Yeah, of course we did.
That's for the YouTube live. We're on the internet.
But it's
right now.
played back. Yay!
See? There I am.
Clap for me. Yeah.
Famous.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We're winning by like
Whoa, what happened, 5th grade boys? We were in the lead last week.
5th grade boys in the bottom.
Yikes.
6th grade boys.
6th grade boys are killing it. 5th grade girls repping. Who's in 5th grade? 5th grade ladies. And the 6th grade girls. Who is close up top? Alright, so third board today after second service. In here? Up here? Back up here, Corey? Right in here after second service. Alright, it's a super fun time, and it's awesome. Be back. Be here. For third board. And we'll have pizza, probably. We usually have pizza. Yeah, pizza. Pizza and Cheetos. Everyone's favorite food. Pizza and Cheetos. Alright, what other announcements we got? Oh, Superstar. Check out this video. Who's going to Superstar? Yeah. I'll go to Superstar. It's fun. Benji in the house! What is up?
Maybe all
Never
my
leave,
friends
always
are like
on
this.
Alright, who's going to Superstar? Corey's going, Jalissa's going. Alright, what is that again? What's the date? October 19th through the 20th. It's a Friday night and a Saturday. It's fun in Duluth. You get to swim in a really small pool. It's the highlight of the weekend. Maybe. No, it's not really. Alright, what else we got? YouTube channel. Boom! Check that out. We got a YouTube channel where all of our videos are. Will the live videos be on there? Oh, the live videos will be on there now. That's
Right
cool. YouTube. Lizzie!
You can watch it anytime, any day.
Alright, so check out the YouTube channel. A lot of good videos on there. The Wednesday night stuff's on there too, which is really helpful. Alright, what's next? We don't need to do the rules. Okay, we got a super fun game, and I need the adults' help. And it said we're going to divide the room in half, so of course we got to do
Girls versus boys.
Right. So, I need all the girls on this side. And all the boys on this side.
I think there's more boys than
Don't be
girls.
silly.
Go back there. Don't be bald out.
Yes,
go, boys.
finally someone with respect.
Today.
Are you still watching me?
Come back, Kaden.
Yeah, it's playing. I gotta watch it. I gotta watch this. It's
All
playing
over the
back.
land back there.
Yeah, I
All
gotta
over
watch
the
it.
place. All over the place.
This is what happens when you own a phone. Hey, what up?
Alright, you can see a message being made. Good job. And you got everything cleaned up.
They're watching this. Please stop.
That's not my problem. Alright, I need y'all's attention up here so you can understand what the game is.
Okay. Stop.
Focus.
That's supposed to be this
Focus.
with the live stream camera.
Y'all gotta listen or you're not gonna get it. Alright? Okay, here's the game. So, the room is divided in half.
I think girls get better.
The boys, you guys cannot cross the line to go get beach balls. The girls, You cannot cross the line to go get beach balls. The adults, make the beach balls go everywhere. Alright? The object of the game is to get as many beach balls on your side as possible. And what do we have, a minute? Yeah, let's do a minute. Why not? What's your question? No, you want to get beach balls on your side.
You want them on your side.
You want them on your side. You want them on the other side. You want the most on your side? You want the most on the other side? So, okay. Alright.
Hey, so what you need to do is flip and kick them all.
Yeah, kick them all around. And then the team with the most
So
loses.
this is y'all side. We need more balls on this side. This is y'all side. We need more balls on this side.
Alright, you got it? You have a minute. The team with the most balls loses. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Go, come on! Get all over there! We need game music. There it is. Yeah. Oh, we got it. It's on YouTube live, but they're like, what's going on YouTube? They don't know what's going on. One-sided right now. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop! Wow. Yeah, the girls' side. I mean, it depends how you look. If your glass is half full, then you guys totally won. But if your glass is half empty, you guys got smoked.
We won!
Alright. Good job, everybody. Okay. So, we gotta clean up with these balls. We got something to put them in. We got bags to put them in. Hey, there's some bags. Let's put them in these bags. Good job. Hey, help them out. Pick up. Thank you, Hunter. Way to be a leader. Awesome. Awesome, dude.
Nice for the wife.
Hey, yes, ma'am. Oh my God. You guys are helping clean up. Oh, it smells like a
He's
good
caught
rat.
it a knife.
Why is everyone so
He caught it a
interested?
knife.
Why
You're on
are they
YouTube
so
Live, man.
live
Isn't
streaming
that cool?
everyone?
Yeah, he just
I mean, maybe all my
he,
friends just
he
like
put it
that.
on he put it on
Alright, once you get done picking up the balls, come have a seat.
I'm just really fat.
And we're gonna. You're not that. You're not. If you have a beach ball on your tongue. Hey, did y'all see? Oh, wait till I get seated. Thanks for picking up, everybody. Alright, come back and have a seat. Congratulations, boys. You won 46,000 points. 46,000. Yeah. Go ahead. Get on there. They're just seeing your face right there, though. They don't see you. They don't see you.
Oh no, it zooms out.
Yeah, but not that close.
Yeah.
Hey, how about these new signs? These are cool, huh?
Cool!
Pretty sweet. Alright, we're changing things up a little today. Instead of going into worship, Mr. Cisco, you ready? Alright, let me pray for Cisco. Let me pray for his word, and then we'll get into the message today, alright? Alright, let's bow our heads. Father God, thank you for today, God. Thank you for the ministry here, God, the church. My God, I just ask that you speak through Cisco now as he talks to the kids, God, just as the lesson shared. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Oh my gosh, stop watching. Look at the shorts.
Alright, man, that was absolutely awesome. That's very
I'm not watching it, I'm listening. And it's like
Guys, we have been talking about just some dirty jobs, right? Who likes doing dirty jobs here? Yeah, I know a few of you guys do. So look, as we were playing this little game right there, I did a pretty good job cleaning it up.
What to do is not your phone.
But some of you guys were just standing there watching
I'm listening to
everybody else do the work.
background of me
As a matter of fact, I saw a
actually
few of you
listening to
guys actually trying to knock the balls out of the bag. I was actually saw a few of y'all knocking balls out of the bag as other people were trying to clean up.
I was kicking the balls over to you.
Yeah, so but when we were cleaning up, it was a little different. So today we're going to be learning about how sometimes dirty jobs, we got to do it, right? A lot of times, there's sometimes, like even here now today, right? We got some stuff here. A lot of times we have things just kind of out of place. And we walk by them and say, man, somebody needs to clean that up. Who's been guilty of that? Who's been guilty even at your house, around your yards, or anywhere else? Like you see a mess. You recognize the mess and say, somebody needs to clean that up. Yeah, I've been guilty of that too. Right? So a lot of times in our lives we do those things. Guess what? Guess what? Who that somebody could be? Somebody could be you. That somebody could be you. Now Tyler, did you have something? Tyler, did you have something?
Yeah, I have done that, but it's been a while since me and my brother share rooms now. If he makes a mess, I clean it. But what had been is I slept in this room and all my toys were in this room. He slept in this room and all his toys were in that room. And his room had toys scattered out of the toy box almost every week.
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect example. When I was growing up, there was 3 boys that basically me and my cousin lived with a shared room and my brother shared a room. So there was 3 of us in there. So a lot of times you didn't know whose mess it was, right? And you would walk by and say, "Oh man, that's Ashton. Do you have something to share?" Okay. So a lot of times we would walk by there and look at the mess and be like, "Oh man, that's my little brother's mess," kind of like Tyler was saying, and we walk right by it, right, and not clean it up. Or there may be times when, how many of you guys have dogs or have animals?
I have one.
Yeah, we have a little one, a cute little dog named Sadie. She's about yay big, and we got her about 2 years ago. And a lot of times she has to go outside and use the restroom. So she'll be at the door barking, and this doesn't happen often because typically we got to keep her on a routine. But she does every once in a while start barking right about the door. And guess what happens? Do you think our kids run to her and say, "Oh, she needs to be taken out"?
No.
No, they just kind of stand there. Sometimes you even hear somebody go, "Oh, Sadie needs to go out." And then we'll just stand there and hopefully somebody's going to get her. Right? Well, what about if you had a big dog that went outside in the yard and, sometimes they have to do number 2 and they poop in the yard and you're supposed to clean that up a lot of times. We look at it and say, that's nasty. I don't want to clean that up. I'll let my dad and mom do that. And that's kind of where our story is today. Okay, we're going to talk about a guy named Nehemiah. Hey, can you have to just separate for me? Yeah, no, I mean like, get in a different seat. No, one of you two needs to go to that seat right now. One of you needs to separate, please. So, we're talking about a guy named Nehemiah. Okay, and just to give you a background on who Nehemiah was, he was the cupbearer for the king at the time. And that's a pretty awesome job to have. Okay, to be the cupbearer of the king, you had a pretty awesome job, meaning that you were the right-hand man of the king. And his sole job was really to bring and serve the king drinks. Now, one of the downsides to that is a lot of times kings were worried about somebody poisoning them, trying to kill them, right? So guess what Mr. Nehemiah had to do? What do you think Mr. Nehemiah had to do, Benji? Yeah, he had to drink right before him. So when you drink before him, and if it was poison, what do you think could happen to Nehemiah?
He would have died.
Yeah, he would fall over and die, right? He would be poisoned and he would be dying. So there's always a downside of having those type of jobs, but it was what they call very lucrative. Like he was very well looked at, respected. He had authority. So he's sitting there and he's doing his job, and then his brother comes in and says, "Hey, I got a message for you. He's all excited. He's like, man, he's coming from Jerusalem. They just left. There's been an exile. So here we go. He's got some great news for me of what's going on. Everybody have been leaving Jerusalem. Now they're coming back. And for centuries, they have been gone. And they started coming back. And as he started coming back, he's got just a message for them, right? You couldn't really, like today, if you guys want to check on something, if I wanted to check the Braves score or the Georgia score for yesterday, what can I do?
Look it up.
I can look it up on Google, right? And see what's happening. Unfortunately, in those days, they didn't have that option. You either had to travel there by foot, by horse, or whatever travel that was, or you would get a message. And here's this guy, his brother's coming to give him a message, and he's like, oh, he's got to bring me a good message. Okay? And this is where we start our story, Nehemiah. So, Lyndon, can you put up the verse for me? All right, that 1:1. Can you read that for me, Ms. Madison? Read it out. Nehemiah. Xerxes, king. Kislev. Okay, so here he is. He's telling you he's been there 20 years serving the king. He's got pretty good, right? As he says there, you know, he was in the safest place. He was inside the king's palace. Outside somebody trying to poison the king, he's pretty safe. Everywhere around him there was turmoil. There was wars going on. There was fights. We don't see that here a lot of times. When you go out into other countries, it's kind of like things that are happening. People are killing each other on the streets. People are killing for food. People are looking for a safe place to go. And Nehemiah, he's in a pretty good spot. Okay? He's at the palace. What's the next one say, Lennon? Camden, read that for me. So he's asking about Jerusalem. He's asking, hey, how's the country where I'm from? You know, I've been here in this palace for so long. I really don't know what's going on. I've had no desire of leaving. You know, he was kind of, I guess, complacent. Is a good word for it. He was happy. Things were the way they're supposed to be. For a lot of you, it's like being in your room. You play video games. Maybe whatever your favorite game is Fortnite. This is like playing Fortnite, and you got whatever you want to eat, whatever you want to drink, being served to you all day. Okay, this is what it's like. And then you get somebody else that comes out and says, "Hey, you got to come check this out. The country where you came from, it's not good right now." So what does it say after that? Then Tyler, read this out for me.
He and the men who were with him said to me, "Some of the people who returned are still alive. They are back in the land of Judah, but they are having a hard time. People are making fun of them. The wall of Jerusalem is broken down. Its gates have been burned with fire."
All right, it's very important to know. What does it say? The wall of Jerusalem, what?
Burned down by fire.
The wall of Jerusalem was what?
It's burned down by fire.
And the gates have what?
Burned down by fire.
This is the biggest defense that most cities have. It's the gate and the walls that were built outside of. Now it's hard for us to visualize that because today we have cities and we get in cars, we just cross over to the next city and nothing happens. But in these days, they They were fighting for land, they were fighting for places to live, and typically you wanted to rule over more land, you had to take over, right? And on the defense was your wall and the gates. But what happened to the gate?
It was burned.
And what happened to the wall?
It was broken down.
So they have nothing to work with. Right? Everything's in shambles, man. Everything's just destroyed. Kind of like the game looked like over there when we first started. Everything just kind of messy. Nothing going on, right? And then what happened? Then what happened? Josiah, read that for me. You guys are a little young for this, but right there, Nehemiah dropped to his knees, okay? And it says for several days he didn't eat any food and prayed to the God of heaven. What's one word that summarizes what he was doing? Raise your hand. It starts with an F. He was fasting. And I think it's incredible for us to get that type of insight, guys. Before you make a big decision, before you do something in your life, before you make choices, go to God and pray. Okay? And for you guys, I don't know what that may be today. It may be that one of your friends is starting to act a certain way that you shouldn't act like. You need to pray on those things. Or maybe it's buying a certain video game. And before you buy that video game and you talk to your parents, if you know deep down inside you shouldn't buy those games, you need to pray and fast. Maybe you need your fasting, maybe you fast away from those games so you're not so consumed by them, and you can have a clear mind when you make up your mind. Maybe it's, hey, I'm not going to play games. Or even though the weekends when I play, this whole weekend I'm not going to play any games. And I'm going to think about whether this is what God wants me to do. For us folks, older folks, maybe we stay off our phones for a little while. Okay? It may be, hey, I'm not going to eat for the next day or so, and I'm going to pray the whole time. One of the coolest things that I like is when I run, is when I do a lot of my prayer and a lot of thinking. But it is something even better when you have that quiet time with God and pray. So you see Nehemiah, he didn't just go out and say, hey, I want to do this, this, and that, right? Several days, he went without food and he prayed to God. I wish Bible, well, it probably does somewhere, but we should elaborate it a lot more because that's so important to us. We are so quick and so fast to make decisions that we leave God out of it. A lot of times we're just doing it out of impulse to serve our needs. Think about it like this. Even though we may not want to admit it, it's very easy for us to be selfish. You don't have to try to be selfish. I'll tell you what, at 3:30, I knew what I was going to be doing yesterday. I knew I was going to be sitting on the couch, watching Georgia play. And it didn't matter what was going on. And I didn't have to try for that. Now, being selfless, God serving, that's a whole different story. It's a little tougher. 3 weeks ago, you guys remember about, we talked about, what was that king's name that was kind of hard name to say. Y'all remember that? Who had that? Not Nebuchadnezzar. Yep, that's it. Right? Say it again, Mr. Todd.
Jeroboam.
Yeah, Jeroboam and Rehoboam, right? And the thing is, he knew what he wanted to be. He wanted to be a great king. But then when he was told by the elders, the people that were wise, what he should do, he didn't want to do those things. And that's how we are a lot of times. Hey, I want to be the greatest son or the greatest daughter or the greatest wife, the greatest husband. But we don't want to take the steps to go from here to here. We aspire to be those things, but we don't have the determination, or we don't have the guts to do it. We want things just to happen. Nehemiah's right here. He's praying to God, said, God, show me the way. And then what does it go, Lyndon? And I wish I could read the German. Will you read that one for me?
I said, Lord, you are the God of heaven. You are the great and wonderful God. You keep the covenant you made with those who love you and obey your command. You show them your love.
All right, next. Keep going. So Mr. Jeremy, keep reading the next one.
Please pay careful attention to my prayer. See how your people are suffering. Please listen to me. I'm praying to you day and night. I'm praying for the people of Israel. We Israelites have committed sins against you. All of us committed.
And the last one?
I and my family have also sinned against you.
So here's Nehemiah, guys. He's praying. Did it give God that answer when he was praying? Did he give God, is that a yes or no question? Did he give God the answer as he was praying? Did he? No. No, he didn't. Now, let me ask you this. How many of you guys, and us, I'll be honest, I'll be the first one to raise my hand, I'll be the first one to tell you I sin like this. When I'm praying, I already gave him the solution. I'm saying, God, let it go the way Cisco wants it to go. God, answer my prayers by doing it this way. I've already made up my mind. What's the point of praying? A lot of times, when there's been some big conversation, I'll get Ms. Lauren involved because I want to remove myself herself, and then she gives me her wisdom, and then I just sit back and say, all right, this is kind of where we're at. God, help me through this. When we want something so bad, or we think we do, and we think it's going to be good for us, we remove Jesus and we remove God out of our request. Nehemiah is saying, hey, I've sinned against you. I'm not perfect, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. So, next, Chase, will you read the next one for me?
We've done some very evil things. We haven't obeyed the commands, rules, and laws you gave your servant Moses.
Next.
Remember what you told him. You said, if you people are not faithful, I will scatter you among the nations.
Alright, so there he is, guys. I'm going to skip a few because of time. So he keeps praying to God, keeps asking God, show me what you want me to do. And then he gets the message from God. His message is, hey, rebuild the walls. And it puts Nehemiah in a very, very bad situation. Because he is what to the king again? He's a what?
Cupbearer.
He's a cupbearer to the king. So what do you think the king? Do you think the king enjoys having somebody serve him and tasting his wine and tasting whatever he was drinking before he drinks it so he doesn't die? If you were a king and you had me serving you the whole time, do you think you like me, you want to keep me? Yeah. So he's faced with a tough situation. He can't just get up his bags and say, I'm leaving, king, see you. What do you think could happen?
King could kill him.
Yeah, the king could kill him. The king could do whatever they wanted to back in those days. They had all the authority to do that. So let's go to Nehemiah like 1:14, please. That's how it stops. Okay. So, guys, he comes in and he's somewhat very sad of what's going on with the wall. And first of all, as he's looking sad, that's enough for the king to be upset and kill him if he wants to. If he's not like bubbly and happy, hey king, here's your drink, hey, you know, the king has the right at that point. Kill him. He can do it. No questions asked. He could actually, even maybe, he had a hammer. Ooh, beat him upside the head with a hammer. Right?
Ow.
Hammer time, that's right. Well, maybe not a hammer, but he could if he wanted to. But what does the king do? What does the king do? The king asks Nehemiah, why do you look so sad? What is wrong? And we should have verses up there, but we'll get them for the second service about this. He says, what is wrong? What's going on with you? And he gives him this story. Right now, Jerusalem is in shambles. What happened to the wall? The gates burned down and the walls were broken down, right? Everything had fallen apart. And I imagine, guys, this has happened. If you read it, it's happened for a long, long time, like centuries. And then within the last decades, the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years, people started moving back in. And I can guarantee you there was probably thousands and thousands of people that looked at the walls, looked at the gate, and said, somebody needs to fix that, and kept walking. I want you to learn about Nehemiah's leadership and what he did. He heard about it. He didn't even see it. He heard about it from his brother, about how where he was from was falling apart, didn't have a safe place. So he goes to the king and says, hey, you don't have to give me the resources. Give me a safe passage to get there, and let me cut basically the trees, woods, to build this back up. And the king agreed. So here's Nehemiah, guys, living his safe environment, living where he's been for the last 20 plus years, as the cupbearer, going out to do some work, going to the mission field almost. And as you read about this, Nehemiah, multiple times, there were people that come up as he was laying brick over brick. How many of you guys ever lay brick? It's pretty hard work, man. It gets pretty long. As a matter of fact, it's a perfect time this come up because we're working on our beds, and I think I probably moved 4,000 pounds on Wednesday. I picked up another 6,000 pounds of rock on Friday.
At one time?
Oh yeah.
Man, Cisco.
No, I got two trailers parked in my yard at my driveway right now. So that's what I'm going to be working on Sunday and Monday. It's not easy work. You sweat. Want to get inside the house. And I can imagine Nehemiah in those days, guys, they didn't even have the equipment that we have today. At least I got a wheelbarrow. Back in those days, they didn't even have that. It was just people carrying it, right? They didn't have a way of lifting it up. Here they are laying brick by brick, building this wall back. And he had people trying to get him off his purpose. They had people saying, hey, you need to quit doing that or we're going to kill you. Now somebody came up to him and said, hey, I'm going to kill you if you keep working on that. I'm going to drop that wheelbarrow and I'm going to go back inside the house. Nehemiah could have easily stopped and went back to the king's house, continued to be a cupbearer. He says, you know what? This is what I was sent to do. I'm going to finish my mission. And he kept doing it. And in 52 days, he finished. So what does this have to do with us? How can we apply that to our lives? You guys think you're going to be called to go build some walls or in some gates? At this age, maybe. More than likely not. But it may mean that when you're at your house and you're walking around the house and you look at the sink and the sink gets messy with dishes, maybe you take the time to clean it up. Maybe you take the time to say, you know, Mom and Dad do a lot for me. They provide a place for me to sleep. They provide a place for me to have fun, have friends over. Just maybe I need to clean those dishes that are sitting right there. I shouldn't expect them to do that as well. Or maybe as you were walking in the city station this morning, it still has chips in it. Maybe you saw a bag of chips, saw a plastic bottle. And you walk right by and said, Mr. Kevin Jarrett, man, he's awesome. He has somebody that volunteers that's going to do that for him. And you step right over How many times have you guys stepped over trash walking in here, just out of curiosity? Or anywhere? Yeah? How about picking it up? Wash your hands afterward. Not tough to do. Those little things that matter, guys. Little things that matter. So, as we wrap up, and we're going to do worship now, think about something. What around you needs to be done? What around you needs to be done? For a lot of you, when you go back home today, your room may need to be cleaned up. Maybe your room hasn't been cleaned up in so long that you walk in and you think that's the way it's supposed to be. But we know better. But we know better, right? Maybe you take a few hours today and just clean up that room. And that way Labor Day, you can actually enjoy your room. It's amazing to me how easy it is just to let things go. Like we told Josiah a lot of times, when things like that happen, you become used to them, and that's who you become. And then you don't even realize it, that you're slowly transforming into having your room look like a pigsty. He does a pretty good job putting up stuff and throwing things up, but there's some other things that we can work on. So whatever that may be for you today. Maybe as you get home and you maybe help your mom sleep. If that don't have anything to do, if your room is perfect, you can come over to my house and help her with the rocks. Here we go. Ma'am? Oh, it's Labor Day. Yeah, tomorrow's Labor Day, so we're closed tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to turn it off. Let me pray for you guys. We're going to go to worship and challenge you guys. Be like Nehemiah.
What is he?
Okay, don't wait on somebody to do something that you can do. Even us as adults, a lot of times. We'll say, oh, he'll do that, or hey, she'll do that. Okay? All right, Father God, we just thank you so much for your love, Lord. We thank you for this story of Nehemiah, Father, how he took something that he wasn't even close to, Lord. It was where he was from, and things were just falling apart. And Lord, he prayed to you. Father, he listened to you. But most importantly, Father, he took actions to get that done. Father, even when the interruption came, even when people try to get him off focus from building that wall back, Lord, he kept committed to you. He remained focused, and you remain obedient. Father, as we go out through our lives, let us be more like Nehemiah. Let us pick up the slack. Let us pick up when we notice things are wrong instead of waiting on somebody else to come in and do it. Lord, we thank you for today.